Welcome to Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven for September 10th, 2020. This episode of Quoth the Raven is intended for ages 16 and up. While some of the content we will feature sometimes is kid-friendly, the context of the episode is to address and educate older teens and adults to inform them of said content for them to research as consumers in service of their youth. In other words, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, librarians, etc. There is a possibility of adult language present on the episode as well. Rated TV 16 and up. Hello, everyone. You're looking for what the mystery is this week. Well, I hate to disappoint some people who are probably expecting me to do a mystery-themed episode. That's not what this is about. Just a second. That's better. A little less reflection off the sign behind me. This week I had multiple parties scheduled as guests, and about 10 hours before airtime, everyone conveniently found reasons not to be here. Left me hanging. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to throw a tantrum. It is what it is. So what the mystery is, we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. But let's go ahead and go straight to the questions as soon as possible for the week. First question of the week is from TJ Lomas in Illinois. When are you going to put out some of your own work again? You used to put out comics and other stuff, but nearly all I've seen looking over your podcast is you talking about everybody else's stuff. Don't you make comics anymore? That's a damn good question, TJ. I haven't been lately, have I? Maybe it's because I'm spending too much time promoting everybody else and getting nothing to show for it. Maybe it's time I stop promoting everyone else and start showing everyone why I'm a 27-year veteran, why I'm better than a lot of people out there. Instead of trying to promote comics as a medium, because it sure doesn't seem to be doing me any damn good. But so starting next week, I'll try to get some stuff shown for projects I'm working on. Okay, DJ? Thanks for asking the question. Next question. Anonymous asks, how come you don't get more guests? Well, I tried. I keep trying. I've had a lot of people just either not respond or say not right now, later. Frankly, I think they just don't think I have enough subscribers, enough viewers to bother appearing on my show. And they haven't got the balls to say that, to be honest with you. That's what I feel at this point. And after today's earlier stunt by my guest people, I'm obviously I'm pretty upset. So, how come I don't get more? Well, there you go. Last question of the day. From multiple parties asked me, I thought you were going to do more live draw episodes. What happened? Yes, I had promised that. Last few weeks, I just haven't felt well. Just, on the days that I was going to do those live draw event. I was not feeling well. I was under the weather and pretty much, just I didn't slough it off. I just slept through the day practically because I was just that under the weather and wasn't in a state of mind or physical state to draw for a podcast, and I apologize for that. I'll try to make up for that in the future. John Norris says, good evening. Hello, John. And that is all our questions for the week. So if you have a question, email them to quotheravenlbr72@gmail.com. Subject QTR questions. Please indicate whether or not you want your name and locale read on air. So we are kind of in this weird situation here because I had a platform for this week and it didn't happen thanks to the people who I was supposed to have. And again, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus because this isn't the first time this has happened. This has happened several times. But it really left me in the lurch, and I can't really talk about the topics I was going to talk about just by myself. So we're just going to go straight into promoting some crowdfunding, and then we'll do some reviews and call it a night, okay? Our first review for the Kickstarters this week, crowdfunding this week is Ghost Band. It's from our friend Jason McNamara, who's been a guest on the show in the past. He's got 7 days to go. He's got a $10,000 goal. And as you can see, he's at a little over $7,100. We'll go ahead and play it again for you guys.
Greetings. I'm Jason McNamara. I'm the writer, co-creator of Ghost Band. What is it? It's a 96-page graphic novel about the last day on Earth. And 4 strangers who have to join together and start a band. This story is about making art during a rough time. And it's a love letter to the city of San Francisco. And the creative communities destroyed by technology. It's a lot, I know, but I'm not making this alone. My co-creator is Anka Gladnick. They're a fantastic illustrator who's made work for NBC, Washington Post, NPR. I feel really fortunate to be working with Anka, and I can't wait for you all to see their work. Why Kickstarter? Anka and I are both freelancers working from home during an uncertain time. We want you to become our publisher. Ghost Band has 4 chapters. We will release each of the 4 digitally over the course of the next year. And then next year, we'll print and ship the books out to you. Do I know what I'm doing? question. I've had 5 successful Kickstarters, and I'm ready to provide a positive experience for the backers of Ghostband. Let's rock.
I agree with John's statement here. It is cool that Jason was signing during the video, and it's the only video I've seen that has had someone doing that too. I think that was really a brilliant move on Jason's part. I hope he continues to do that. And I don't know sign anymore. I knew a little bit when I was younger, but when you don't use something, you lose it. So, I've forgotten it, and I've never had a reason to relearn it, which is kind of foolish in a way because we probably all should be getting taught sign language in school, like it was when I went to school back when I was younger. We had that twice a week with sign language, and that was back. Oh, geez, it was in the '80s. But that's something that here we are, um, kind of excluding a part of our society, and I'm grateful that Jason is demonstrating inclusiveness with that action. So let's continue with his page here. Um, a technological plague destroys the world, and a handful of survivors descend on San Francisco, only to discover they have 24 hours before they too will be wiped out. Hoping to leave a legacy that will outlast them, they do what any good San Franciscan would: try to make art of it. Unfortunately, a group of nihilistic programmers have already had their own deadly agenda and are seeking to expedite the apocalypse. Can these rival factions collaborate on a final act of creation, or will humanity's enduring epitaph be nothing more than sound and fury? It's Silicon Valley meets the day after, and here's some of the artwork by Anka. I don't know if you can see, the eyes are going black and there's tears coming out, but there's like zeros and ones like protruding out from the eyes like a code, computer code. Same thing coming out of the black down the hands and into the wrists. You can get a $4 single PDF, $10 an album, which means you get all 4 PDFs as they're released in digital form. The $15 thing is you get demo tapes, which is the making of the PDF, and you'll get the digital issues as they're released. $20 is the road crew. You get a digital bundle featuring all the different books Jason has done, including the stuff that I've covered on the show in the past: Nocturnal Commissions, the Cicada, the Rattler, Shorthand. All that stuff is in a digital bundle featuring over 250 pages of comics reading material. $27 is the producer. You get a physical copy of the trade paperback when it's produced, and you get your name and social media handle listed in the book with free shipping in the U.S. Free shipping in USA. For $50, you get a special variant cover along with all this other stuff that's exclusive to Kickstarter. For $80, you'll get a lithograph of the alternate cover. For $100, you'll get an original character sketch. So, pretty decent rewards rather, for what he's offering. So, it's quite a pretty decent thing here. I'm looking forward to getting it. I haven't yet backed it. I'm going to back it later this week. The reason I haven't backed it is because my money's been tight, and I just haven't had the money in the account to make sure that when it pulls, it's there. So I'm trying to get the money into that account so I can make sure all the stuff I'm going to order, nothing, goes under what it's supposed to. That's mostly due to my bank being idiots. They want me to keep a certain amount of money in there. I've got enough money in the account, but if you go below a certain amount, they charge you fees. And if you keep your balance above that ratio, then the account's free, and I don't want to pay their ridiculous fees. That's the main problem there. But so there's that book. Definitely going to be ordering that later this week. And the thing is, we're going to go back and look at that again. When you get the support here, the PDFs are going to be delivered next month for the first issue. And then September 2021 is supposedly when they got all four going to be. It's going to be released. Okay, it's going to take releasing periodically throughout the next year. Same thing with the demo tape with the other backup PDF. You get to the producer, you're going to get the book and all that PDF stuff. Estimated delivery will be September of next year. So it's going to, they're going to be doing a year. You're still going to get the PDFs leading up and the demo tape stuff if you get the physical book leading into the physical, but the physical book doesn't come out until September of next year. So people should be aware of that. Just in case, people are looking for stuff like right in the immediate time frame of when how soon is it going to be delivered and stuff, because I know it gets tiresome waiting on stuff we order online from crowdfunding groups. It's nice when everything is supposedly completed and ready to go, but if they have it scheduled and you know what it is. And again, Jason has been very successful. He's had 5 successful Kickstarters. I showed you Nocturnal Commissions and the other PDFs from some of those other projects earlier this year. So he's reliable, and I recommend him. Our next one for the day is Insider Art. This is a print compendium of comics, crafts, and cats. As you can see, it's just got over its goal of 25,000 recently. It's got 17 hours left, so this is something you need to take a look at right away. It's got 727 backers. It's a big, huge book, and it's curated by Shelley Bond, best known for her work as Vertigo editors. Let's take a look at her video.
Hi, I'm Shelley Bond. I've been a comic book editor for well over 2 decades, and I've wanted to be in a garage band for far longer than that, but I can't play guitar and no one would join me. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, I came up with Insider Art. The conceit was pretty simple. Create an art house with 8 different rooms and somehow trick 8 different editors to edit and curate their very own sections.
There are so many amazing cats in this book. I love all the stories in my section. They're so inventive and so beautiful, and those of them are really, really powerful. Plus, one of them has amazing dancing in it.
I'm Nicole, and I edited the bathroom section of Insider Art. This section of the anthology features 7 short stories that are all very unique, but what they have in common is that they're all about the little things that we do to take care of ourselves and to take care of each other. in our personal moments and personal spaces. So the stories here feature characters who represent all different stages of life, kids through adults of different age groups. They're positive, uplifting stories, and they're written and drawn by some very talented storytellers. I hope you check them out. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Chris Simon, and I'm the editor for the kitchen section. It features amazing art and recipes from creatives such as Janet Lee and Casey Gilly, Jade Perkin, and Carolyn Carter. This is a perfect gift and a chance to support an incredible and diverse group of creators, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
The craft room of Insider Art is home to loads of amazing DIY projects in comic form, things like how to make piñatas, Russian dolls, even rock star sock puppets. It was an amazing opportunity to bring in loads of artists and crafters from different industries, as well as loads of brilliant comic creators that I love.
Getting to curate the garage section of Insider Art was an absolute blast. There's so much for you to discover inside the 270-page print volume of Insider Art. And if you can't back the campaign, please help us by spreading the word on your social media platforms, because all we want to do is talk about the greatest art form on earth, comic books.
Okay, and they said there's 17 hours to go. Let's see what stuff they have here. It's 270 pages by over 150 different comics creators. To get the book for a soft cover is only $20, and that's probably not including the shipping anyway. $20 for a 270-page book, pretty amazing as far as that goes. You can also get for $30 a loot bag. Let's take a look at what the loot bag is. The loot bag includes 2 postcards, 3 vinyl cat stickers, and 3 1-inch badges / pins. So there you go. Quite a bit of stuff there in addition to the book. You can also buy 2 copies for $35, have them shipped to you, and you can give your friend something. This is going to be delivered in November of 2020, so this could be a perfect Christmas gift for someone who likes comics, or someone you want to introduce somebody to the world of comics. Here's something that they can potentially share with someone. And there's also a librarian and retailer bundle where you can get 3 copies and buy 3 copies and get 2 free. And that's $60 or more, which is, not bad. I mean, you're talking 5. You're basically paying $12 a book or 40% off. That's a reasonable thing going on there. So, they also did a digital anthology raised, 5K on Gumroad, which I'm not familiar with Gumroad. I've heard of it, but I'm not that familiar with it. But that proceeds went to retailers who reached out for support. So that's cool. They have a digital version, which remains exclusively on Gumroad. So you can look at that on Gumroad if you want as well. This is for the softcover who want a paperback reading experience. And here's some of the artwork. This is Jen Sinong art, story by Amy Garcia and AJ Mendez. Idle Hands by Sarah Gordon. There's probably going to be a lot of female artists on here. So again, if you are one of those people who thinks that women don't do comics, there's no women doing comics, well, this is the book to get so you can start exploring that side of our industry and see how many talented women we actually do have in our industry. This is a gaming group, and they're fighting a dragon, so instead we're just going to kiss the dragon. So that was kind of cool. Again, there's going to be recipes and for comfort food, quarantine breads, different type of things. Talk about the history of garage rock, all kinds of cool stuff in here. And they got a whole list of the people. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but there's quite a few well-known people: Joe Thompson, Joanne Starr, Jody Hauser, Annie Wu, Becky Cloonan. Quite a few people that are well-known have contributed to this. Teenie Howard, Trina Robbins, Vita Ayaya, quite a few. So, and there's a lot of people here you may not have heard of. So, again, certainly worth our time to look at. This is Becky Cloonan's How to Make a Repeating Pattern to make a wallpaper for your home, or for other patterns for like making quilts or stuff like that. You could do stuff like that. So, a lot of DIY, do-it-yourself type material in here. And I'm going to be reviewing or getting a copy of that and reviewing it in the future as well. Didn't realize my hair was going weird on me there. Okay, let's see what our next one is. Our next book is Mayhem, the collected edition. And this had a $389 goal. It's over $2,600 with 26 days to go. So we got a little bit less than a month to go on this. This is written by Jeremy Briggs and illustrated by Jack Borden. Jack's a Polish artist in Poland. I'm a big fan of Jack Borden's art. Not just this, I guess you could say, manga influenced robo monster, robo tech fighter type character books, but just in general. I'm trying to get a hold of him so I can get him on the show and start promoting his work. But just haven't been able to get a hold of him. But anyway, he doesn't have a video, so let's just go straight to the thing. Their stretch goal at 5,000 is, let's see. All right. They want a $5,000. So it's a little 2,685 US is like a little over 2,000 European, and they want 5,000 European to make this book a hardback. But let's see what it's about. What would you do if saving the universe meant losing your soul? A deadly choice between saving everyone you ever loved and your own total annihilation. This is the decision that Raiden Nakamura must make as he faces off against the might of the Demon Imperial Alliance, a horde of ancient alien invaders hell-bent on conquering our solar system and seizing a powerful weapon in the form of a giant super robot, Mayhem. Little did Raiden know, when he first stepped into Mayhem's pilot seat, he would not only have to battle the alien menace, but also Mayhem itself in a struggle for control over his mind and soul. But Raiden is not alone. His friends Ulysses Brayton, Captain Randolph Carter, Dr. Mengyu Wen, Chief Engineer Solita Solar, and the rest of the ISTA Theseus must help him retain at least some semblance of the man he once was. Super Robot Mayhem is a comic from award-winning writer Jeremy Briggs, Metal Made Flesh, co-creator Adrian Mersek, which you can go to superrobotmayhem.com and look at. Artist Borden, he goes by Borden, but his full name is Jack Borden. And Ghost in the Shell, standalone complex, designer Paul Nicholson. Rewards are 200 oversized pages of the book in the 1A4 volume. I think that's 11 by 14. I'm not exactly sure. It's an oversized book anyway, 9 by 12 or 11 by 14. This includes bonus behind the scenes content, character profiles, and more. You can see it's going to be a pretty thick book from the photo. Here's some of the interior art. You get a digital edition as well in PDF with all your bonus content. You can get t-shirts. Art prints. That's the enemy alien queen there. Original artwork with this is Hector Trueneck. Okay. And this is some of the more of the artwork from the comic itself. Let's go ahead and look at what the pledge things are. For $17 is what they're saying, $13 or more, about $17 US. You get the digital version of 200 pages as a DRM file or a PDF file to look online. For $25, around $33 US, you'll get the physical edition with the digital rewards. In other words, you'll get both the digital and the physical printed copy. This will be shipping in November of 2020. For $35, around 46 US, you get an art print of your choice, I guess, with there. For 65, you get the t-shirt and an art print with the digital edition and the physical produced. We only got 42 left out of 50. Okay. For $80, about $104 US, you get it signed, a special limited edition signed edition for the physical book, the t-shirt, the art print, and digital editions. For $455, you can actually get the original watercolor painting that you saw. Let me show you that again real quick. This painting right here, you would get this piece right here for $455. A signed book, the t-shirt, digital copies, all the art prints, not just one, and individual issues. So that's quite a bit of stuff there as well. So that's quite a bit there, but there's only one of those allowed, obviously, because you can only get the one original. If I had that kind of money, I might consider it, but I don't have that kind of money. I don't think very many people do. Hold on a second, got something in mind. There we go. I'm probably going to get I don't know. I kind of want to get the t-shirt. I don't know if I got $65 or not to do that yet. How many more days we got to go on this one? 26 days ago? Okay, yeah. I'll probably, I've got this saved in my files, so I'll probably come back to this and get the t-shirt and the book in the print. So, I don't know. But, yeah. Let me see if I can do something real quick here. I'm looking at Borden's gallery so that I can see if we can find some more of that content. If he's got something showing any of that. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. Let me see if I can find a quick. Nope. He's got so many different images on his site that it's very hard to just really find the exact things that he does that are pertaining to this particular project. I want to find actual pages from this. I know he's done it and shown it on DeviantArt. Just got to keep looking. He might not have it on here. He might be hiding it. Don't know why it would be, but it looks like he is. Which is weird. I keep looking and I don't see anything that's specific to Mayhem. He does a lot of different comic work, so it's very. He's got over 3,000 pieces on DeviantArt to look through, and he's got sketches galore, process stuff. So it's very difficult. I have to find stuff that's specifically to it. I'll tell you what. I'll come back to this next week since we got 26 days to go, and when I find some stuff that's specifically for him from Borden for the Mayhem, I'll share that off his DeviantArt page then. Okay. So I'm definitely going to order that. Let's see what else they got. This is Apex Cybernetic Samurai Owl issue number 2. We got 13 days to go. They've not quite hit their goal of $2,500, or just past $2,300. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the video is. Well, unfortunately, it's already past the 75 backers, so you can't get the special edition token that they were talking about. I wish they had said something. I hadn't watched this video before. I tend not to watch the videos as a rule unless I know I'm going to buy it. This is issue 2. There is issue 1 is also available in the rewards. A cybernetic owl created as a weapon breaks free from his creators, learns the ways of the samurai, and becomes a hero in a distant future of Japan. It's a 24-page comic book, continuing from issue number 1. This is the coin that you would have gotten if you got a physical backer for the first 75 backers. Now, assuming, let's say they got 9 backers, 2 backers for digital, 19 backers. Well, technically, I guess you could get it because it says physical backers only. So they got 19, 24, 40, 47, 49, 56 backers, more or less. So yeah, technically you could probably get that coin still if you wanted it. It's, interesting to have a coin, I guess, But anyway, the digital PDF is $5. The physical copy is $10. The alternative cover was black and white is 10 covers, or $10 rather. 15 for issue 1 and 2. That's probably what I'll end up getting because I missed issue 1. I'll probably get that version. There is a special other Kickstarter exclusive cover for $20. And you can get both the Kickstarter exclusive and original issue number 2 cover with a hand-drawn sketch card for $30. $35 for all 3 values. $50 is a blank sketch cover with art by the illustrator Kenny Aitken. $75 gives you issue 2, a watercolor sketch, only 10 available. $75 can get you all 3 issues and a custom sketch cover. $85 would get you all 4 covers and a sketch card. Quite a lot of different things there. Original artwork available as well. Anyone who backs the $15 physical tier or higher will receive all unlocked stretch goals. If they hit $3,000, you'll get a die-cut magnet. If you hit $3,500, you'll get a print of this image here, a calendar. So quite a bit of stuff there. So, interesting that they've got different things there. So, I don't know why they've got all the way up to 5,000 or 5,500 for locked when they're not even at their goal yet. But I wouldn't have put the unlocked goals until you actually hit your goal. But that's just me. There is 13 days to go. So I wish there was more interior art shown here, so all the covers constantly. So that we could see the actual book. These are art boards. I guess this might be the interior art. This is one of 3 original art boards for the original Apex Cybernetic Samurai Owl story, penciled and inked by Kenny Aitken. So I'm guessing this is what the interior art will look like, which is a pretty open cartoony type style. But I can't say for sure. I wish that there was a little bit more interior work shown for the actual book in this. But so yeah, you can still get the issue 1 and 2. And I think, what is that? $20 yeah? No. $15 more. $15 more gets you 2 issues. So, I'm probably going to look into getting that here in a few days. It's Mega Man meets Weapon X. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting. We'll see what it does. That video didn't tell anything. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. I guess I should have looked at that one a little bit better. But I was just the idea of the cover caught my eye more than anything else. there. This cover caught my eye. But this cover, which is supposed to be by Catan, and it has Kit on it, looks completely different artistically than what these pages are, which are supposed to be original Apex artboards for the original Apex story. So I don't know if this is from last issues or what. It just looks so totally different. It's a little bit weird looking. So I don't know. That's interesting. I wish they would show a little bit more of the interior. But let's see what comments they might have. Not a whole lot said on their comments. See if they got any updates. Update video. That's all just from last one, not this one. Okay. So yeah, we'll see. I might come back to this next week. There is 13 days to go. See if I can find a little bit more information on it before I make a commitment and advise anyone else to make a commitment. But it is pretty close to its goal. It probably will make its goal. Let's see what else we can find that's pretty cool this week. I think we covered this before. It's got 10 hours left. Worms Crawl In. It's past its $1,500 goal, so this will be fulfilled. It's by Dan. Pardon me. Yeah. By Dan Schmidt. It's a horror comic. It's a 160-page black and white original graphic novel. He didn't put a video up, so all we can do is look at this artwork. Homeless spirit medium Delane exists in a jaded world, but when her only friend is murdered, she hits rock bottom. Marco is a ghost trapped within a rotting corpse, craving revenge against the same person that killed Delane's friend. Together, they must embark on a quest for blood that metamorphosizes into a journey of self-discovery and redemption. They find virtue in freeing souls damned to roam the earth, even as a sinister power intends to keep those souls bound forever. The artwork looks decent. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's not a zombie book, he says. There is no apocalypse. It's a macabre, character-driven tale in which one of the main protagonists, Marco, is trapped within a living dead corpse looking for redemption. Borrowing liberally from established myths and paranormal pseudoscience, this supernatural thriller with heart pits existentialism and the depths of friendship against ghosts and hungry cadavers. It teases modern paranormal culture in its references, such as ghost hunting, human possession, Bigfoot, and cannibal murderers. This book targets mature audiences for 17 and up for language, violence, and gore, people who love The Crow, Swamp Thing, and Redlands. As you can see, there's the decomposing body there in the basement. Might be another person waiting underneath the table or underneath the stairs there to attack them, or it could be another body that's crunched in there. Anyway, the artist talks about a bit more about his past, stuff like that. But anyway, 160 pages. Artwork looks pretty decent. Let's see what the rewards are. $25 gets you the book. Delivered estimated November of this year, so a couple of months from now. Only in the U.S. This is an advanced reader's copy without a U.S. It will have no UPC or ISBN number. Okay. I guess that there's going to be a copy produced for mass market with an ISBN number at some point, potentially. I don't know. That's interesting. Um, I know that ISBN numbers can be expensive to buy, so maybe that's why he doesn't have one. But um, that's going to be really weird because if he ever does put the ISBN number on it, that could affect how people perceive print value and collectability. I don't know. That's a interesting choice. And then there's $100 or more, you get a page of the original artwork. So, yeah, again, there's good stuff here overall for what it is. If that's in your wheelhouse of interest. Guy's pretty clearly influenced by Michael Golden, and I can see a lot of it's like sort of a cross between Mike Golden and Tim Bradstreet type stuff going on here. It's pretty interesting looking. Like I said, there's about 10 hours to go. It's already met its pledge goal, so it will be released. And I'll probably get this. What was it again? 25 for the book? Yeah, I'll probably get that. I'll think about it, but I got 10 hours left, so I got time to think about it. Got one more book to go for our crowd views tonight, and that is A Return to Fatal, which is the Flynn's Alien Termination and Logistics, about the space exterminator who uncovers an infestation with a sinister twist. Clearly, it's over 49,000 backer, $49,000 with over 900 backers. There's 7 days left. This is on Indiegogo instead of Kickstarter, and I didn't have time to look through Indiegogo this week, so this is the only one I know we just reviewed this last week, but let's take a quick look at it one more time.
We've received a transmission from the planet Thandra. Shall we give it a listen?
I'm calling you because my planet is sick. And not the monarchy, not the royal guard, not a single person on this spinning rock seems to care. It started gradually. First, it got into our heads. By the time I realized something was wrong, by the time I woke up, they were already here. Things look perfect at first glance, but that's how the aliens work. That's how the invasion starts. A slow boil. I'm calling you because I can't trust anyone here. You're off planet. You're a professional. And I'm afraid we might already be dead.
Flynn, how shall I respond?
It's a job. Let's suit up.
Isn't it nice that just now the crowdfunding reviews banner went going on? I don't know what's going on with my channel tonight. I hope that everybody's seeing these videos on time. I put the crowdfunding reviews like an hour ago. It feels like, I know I didn't, but it, it just feels like an hour ago because it ain't even been on an hour. Okay. Sorry about that. For those of you who don't know who Clint Stoker is, he's the guy who does the Sweetcast videos, video podcast. Yes, I guess you could say he's in the Comicsgate crew, whatever. I don't really. He's not one of these people that I see him tearing down everybody else. The way some of the higher profile hotshot has-beens, you know who I mean, I'm not even going to mention their names, have done on their podcast channels. So, you know, I don't know. Well, I'm pretty hopeful that, you know, he's done pretty decent with this campaign, and pretty decent overall with his stuff from what I hear. I didn't really care for his first book concept. I think it was, I forget the name of it off the top of my head, and I apologize for that. Let me see if I can get a few let's see. Downcast, that was the one. I just wasn't interested in doing a Downcast or Downcast Rise and Fall. Wasn't my thing conceptually, but this one kind of caught my eye. And basically, you know, an alien exterminator follows a distressed call to a posh planet of sycophants. It's 52-page, full color. You can get the trading card set, your name in the book, 3 different versions for $100. It ships first out of all the other people's books in February. The book with the regular book with the wraparound color is $25. The alternate cover is $25. You can get both the book and an artist edition for $50. Or all that's what all 3 means. After with the creators bundle, you get both the regular cover, variant cover, and the artist edition for $100, plus trading cards. The artist really appeals to me. This is nice design work to him, and I'm interested in seeing more from him as well. So that's why I'm interested in this particular one. I'm going to order that here in a bit. This will be delivered in February 2021. So I don't know how far ahead they are with it, but that's when they're estimating the shipping is February of next year. It can also be drawn into the book for $500. Do I really want to get drawn in the book? I mean, what is it going to do? Yeah, make sure you have one of the aliens tear me apart, you know. But yeah, I guess if people want to be in it, you know, it's an interesting reward to offer. But Charlie Snogans is the artist, and I'm rather interested in supporting his work as well. So, and then again, the artist edition is in black and white with none of the lettering. So you actually just get to look at the artwork that Charlie did. No, good. I'm glad you saw the videos. At least I guess I tried to click on the banner for crowdfunding reviews and didn't realize it wasn't running because I've been sitting in the other windows showing on so I can read everything better. Okay, and of course go up and down the screens and stuff. So I apologize for not realizing that it hadn't been there. They'll add fan art pages in the book if they get the 40K. you submit to sweetcastclint@gmail.com. Two winners will receive $100 gift cards and have their ad included in the fan art section. Okay. Oh, you enter by creating an ad for Flynn's alien termination service, and then email your submission, so you get to have your ad, your fan art included. Okay, gotcha. 50,000 get you an 11 by 17 fold out poster, whatever that's going to be. So that's kind of interesting. At least, Clint's giving you a chance to be part of the book as an artist too by submitting. Only two people are going to win, and get $100 gift card. Okay, I don't know what gift card from. That'd be interesting, but I'd rather have $100 sent to me by PayPal, straight up myself. But that's just me. Rather than having pay for a gift card he has to mail me. But okay, whatever. I'm sure unless Clint's already bought the gift cards, that something could be negotiated with him on that. He's a pretty open-minded fellow. So yeah, I'm probably going to order the basic one, the book with the wraparound cover. It looks pretty cool. Like I said, I like Charlie's art. So we got 7 days left there. It's definitely going to meet, it's well past its fixed goal. It's almost to 50,000. So, we're probably going to see, what were the ones here? 40,000. So we know there's going to be at least two winners to have the ad in there. And, they're probably going to get we're probably going to get a poster out of there too. Because he'll probably make the 50,000 in a week. He only needs about $925 more to go. So I can see him doing that, no problem. So yeah, that's a cool thing. So that takes care of our crowdfunding reviews for this week. And so we're going to go from there straight over to reviews. And our first book of the week is our throwback classic comic, Wandering Star #1 from 1993. At a $2 cover price, $2.50 in Canada. Publisher's Pen and Ink Comics. The artist was and is Terry Sue Wood, now known as Risa Challenger. Genre is science fiction. And what it's about is this is the first issue of one of the 1990s most celebrated independent comics, Wandering Star, by Risa Challenger, then known as Terry S. Wood. Cassandra, the daughter of the President of the United Nations of Earth, and the first Terran accepted into the Intergalactic Academy. That's what this is about, story-wise. She discovers to her woe that Earth isn't the most popular of planets and joins the outcasts working on Wandering Star, which is the Galactic Alliance's prototypical spaceship. When the Bono Kiro, the Alliance's longtime enemy, make a sudden reappearance, Cassandra and her misfit crew might just turn out to be the galaxy's last hope. It's recommended for ages 11 and up. It's 5 stars. Like I said, it is one of the best black and white independent comics that there has been. It says book 1 of 12, and that is the actual cover. There wasn't any. She did that logo on like the first, I want to say the first 12 or 13 issues. It actually went beyond the 12 issues. It actually ran for 21 issues due to a variety of circumstances in the 90s. But let's take a quick look at some of the interior art. I don't know if it shows up very well. I might pull the book out if I think I have it near me somewhere. Thought I did. I do. Yay! But as you can see, it's quite detailed. But let's go ahead and see if I can get a bit closer look here. As you can see, there's a lot of pointillism, a lot of crosshatch work in her shading work. Very, very detailed, very, very exquisite stuff. Now, I think when she switched from self-publishing to go to Sirius is when she started doing actual visual covers on the book. Like I said, it ran for 21 issues through Pen and Ink and then later Sirius. It was collected in a reprint collection from Dover Publications, but Dover has since gone out of business. And the rights have reverted back to her, and she's basically looking for another publisher to see if they'll put out a new edition. So hopefully we'll see that soon. I'm hoping, but I can't tell you for sure. But let's take another quick look at one of the other pages, set of pages. This is pages 10 and 11 from the book. A little bit more closer look of it. Again, just exquisite pointillism and patchwork detail in this book. I often take a look at her work and just it boggles my mind how she managed to do all this stuff. And really fun book, as well as the characterizations are very fun. This is something I came across for $1 in that recent dollar bin hunt that John and I went through. I got this book, and I've already got like the trade collections and everything from previous, so I've got the whole complete story. So next time I see you, John, I'll give you this one. Okay. I just wanted to have it here for the episode so that people can see it, so you can take a look at it and you can do a review later. Okay. I can't recommend hunting down Wandering Star. If you can find it online in the trades from Dover, get it. But otherwise, hopefully Risa can get another publisher to pick it up. I'd like to see Scout or Boom or somebody, maybe Scholastics would be another good one, I think, maybe. I don't know. But, there's a lot of places that could really be a wise decision to reprint that book, reprint that series. Let's see what else we got in reviews this week. All right, we got Backtrack number 6 on Oni Press, $3.99. The writer is Brian Jones. The artist is Jake Elphick. Colorist Doug Garbark. The genre is time travel, action adventure, released September 9th, 2020. It's another leg of the race. Levy leaves the rest of the racers behind when Wynn gets stuck in the middle of a firefight. The rest get back to the safe zone anyway, and we get to see some more of the backstories of the racers and why they're in this interdimensional time travel race. They barely get a rest before the next leg of the race begins, and they find themselves in the future this time. What happens next? Recommended for ages 16 up. Average 3 stars out of 5. It's just an average book, average issue. Let's take a quick look at some of the art. This is where Levy is confronted by one of the other people. He's basically confronting her for leaving the rest of the group behind. And apparently the others have made an arrangement that they'd all basically come through together or not finish the legs at all. And she was like, I wasn't even there when you made that agreement, so why should I agree to it? And so he brings up, why she wasn't there, which is because she was watching her video of her brother who's dead, and why she's in this race is because she's trying to find a way to bring her brother back from the dead, because she can go through time and before he gets killed and save him if she wins the race. And so she explains it even more, and she confronts him and says, I don't know why you're trying to protect me or, whatever, but it needs to stop. Leave me alone type thing. And so they cut to his history, and basically it's because his little son had died from cancer or some other illness, and he takes him back in time and says, okay, here you go. You can get your kid cured because you know what's wrong with him now. You can get him to the doctors and get him diagnosed before it's too late. And basically the guy who told him how to took him back in time to save his kid, basically said, keep an eye on her. So that's basically what his history is, only she doesn't know it. So it's okay. It's not, we're 6 issues in. I wish that the stories would speed up a little bit more, I guess. It's clearly writing for the trade. That's what people do these days. So I really can't complain too much about it. I just wish there was more going on with it than there is. I haven't lost interest in it, but thanks to the pandemic delaying everything a couple of more months, from when things were supposed to come out, it doesn't help. So hopefully the next one, which is supposed to come out in 3 weeks, because they're trying to get it back on schedule. They're trying to get it from 4 to 6 weeks to 3, just try and get it back on schedule. Hopefully I'll be able to pick it up and keep going with it. Our next book is Blackwood, The Morning After, number 4. This is the last issue of this particular arc. $3.99. Publisher is Dark Horse Comics, written by Evan Dorkin and illustrated by Veronica and Andy Fish. I think Greg McKenna does the alternate cover on this or something. The genre is horror or maybe he's the letterer. Genre is horror and mystery. I don't know. There's our mystery book for the mystery episode. What it's about, though, is the Dark Wisdom cult has invaded Blackwood Academy. While the teachers try to deal with monsters from other dimensions, Avery, which is one of the other group of teens, betrays them all and gets a powerful magical mask that gives them immunity to all attacks from any humans and the ability to basically wipe the flesh from one's bones. Nasty piece of work this guy is, huh? Can the other students stop him from finding the Book of Despair on their own without the teachers, or will he just wipe everyone out? Concludes the miniseries. It's ages 16 and up. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Probably would give it a higher rating, but it's, again, because of the pandemic, I was a little bit delayed on stuff, and I haven't had time to read the whole series in a lump. So I was kind of like, what do I remember from the previous issues? And Truth is, it wasn't holding much, so I just kind of had to judge it on its own. So it's just an average comic on its own. If I had time to read the whole set, maybe I would have given it a little bit higher rating. Let's look at the art. This is where Avery puts the mask on. The teachers are outside fighting the monsters. I don't know what he cut in his hand. He cut symbols in his hands and did some speaking mumbo jumbo. And nobody's exploded yet, so it worked, right? And he flips his hand, and as you can see, it wipes the flesh completely off the bone, and leaves just a skeleton with a bunch of, blood and guts and whatever on the floor. And he's like, "Yep, it worked." So that was that book. Our next book is Comic Book Implosion, an oral history of the DC Comics, circa 1978. It's $21.95. Publisher is Two Moros Publishing. Writers or compilers are Keith Dallas and John Wells. The artists are various, mostly historical photos and artwork of unreleased works. The genre historical review with an ISBN number of 978-1-60549-085-4. And what it's about is it's an examination of the comics industry leading into 1978, specifically at DC Comics, who had made what many would consider to be radical business decisions at the time. Many of them very good decisions, in my opinion, and in retrospect, but only to have the parent company cut their output by more than half mere weeks after they had spent months developing and advertising and launching an expanded line of titles, which kind of led to the industry implosion of the early 80s, right before they started doing the direct market. So it talks about some of the history. There was a huge snowstorm in New York in the winter of 78, and that hurt their final quarter sales so badly that Time Warner basically pulled the plug on them. I think it was winter 77, rather, not winter 78. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember the dates on this, but it's an interesting book. It's not really so much by them. It's like a lot of collection of quotes from all these people, from different interviews, from all kinds of sources, that kind of gives you a narrative of what went down in that period. But because it's kind of taken in and out of context and trying to put into a narrative, some of the people and what they say kind of contradict each other. And I mean, it sounds feasible, everything that's there, but it feels like there's something, it feels like there's information missing. But I wasn't around. I was alive, but I wasn't in the industry then. I don't really know what was going on. So it was a pretty well done package as far as that goes. Don't really have any artwork to show from it in the scans because I didn't want to break the book's binding on the scanner. But this is some of the artwork that you will see. This is some of the books that they tried to do for DC Explosion. And what they did was they increased the page counts. They were 35 cents for 24 pages. They went from 24 to 44 pages of story for 50 cents. 25 more pages of all new story every issue. And that was because on the newsstands, magazines were like $1 at the time. Time Magazine, Newsweek, that sort of stuff. And comics were like 20 cents, 25 cents, 35 cents. And a lot of people at that time in the newsstand world felt like it was just taking up rack space and they weren't getting their money's worth. And so that's why DC made this idea of doubling the page count, but upping the price to 50 cents. Because every 3 to 6 months, they were increasing from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 anyway. So let's at least get ahead of the curve and try and do something here. And it probably would have worked if they hadn't had the snowstorm and if they hadn't had some other things going on in there. But unfortunately, things did happen what they did, and instead of having the multiple books that were larger page count at that price point, they ended up cutting like 17 titles and cutting it almost just down to, it would be like today's implosion at DC if they just had the Bat books, Superman books, Justice League books, and maybe Wonder Woman and Green Lantern, and none of the other stuff, period. That, from all this that they've been doing lately, just to that. And no Vertigo, no Dark Knight's Metal, no nothing. Just, Batman, Detective, Superman, action, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Green Lantern, those 7 books, and that's all you get. That would be like what happened in 1978 for DC. And a lot of people think, well, that's how DC was failing at the time. They don't tell you the context. Marvel at that time also cut almost half of their books. And that's mentioned in the DC implosion. It's that, and other companies just completely went away during the same period. But they make it about the DC thing because DC had to advertise that intent to expand the number of pages on books and the intent to expand the number of titles they were offered. They had somewhere close to 17 titles that they were going to include that never got released. Some of the material was released in different books. Some of them weren't. That's all covered in the book as well. It's a really well packaged product. It's oversized. See if I can get some more cool artwork here, share with you guys. Doorway to Nightmare by Mike Kaluta. Some art from the Firestorm series that never got released. The Commandy book that Jack Kirby was doing got canceled at that time. Let's see. You might remember a book that DC did a little while back called The Green Team. I don't remember who did it, if it was Gail Simone or not, but that's a revisitation to a project that was intended back in '78 that never got released, called The Green Team. So that was that was actually pretty interesting. Here's some of the other books that were canceled. The Secret Society of Supervillains, Prez, Shade the Changing Man. What was that last one? Showcase Presents Dead Man. So there was a lot of stuff out there that they lost, unfortunately, and didn't get released. Some of it did, but most of it did not. So that was a very interesting book, and it's certainly worth the $21.95 for those who are interested in our comics history and want to learn a little bit more about what was going on in that era and see some of the trends that are cyclical. Because, this was 77, 78. This happened again in 99, late 90s when we had Marvel go into bankruptcy, and we had 95 was when Diamond became exclusive, and we had all that kind of implosion in the market. And here we are again in 2020, another 20 years later, and it's the same sort of thing again with DC. What's DC doing? Are they going to implode again? Are they going to even have comics and comic shops? Is there other stuff going on in the industry that might be leading to another implosion? Comic book shops closing because of the pandemic. So, it seems like a 20-year cycle every time we turn around. So there's that. Let's go on to the next book. This is Fallen Sons, Volume 1, trade paperback, The Root, for $12.99. The publisher is Chapter House Publishing. The writer is Van Jensen, with artists Neil Collier, Leila Del Duca, and Werther Deladera. The colorists are Caroline Nalasso and Stefano Simeone. For those you might recognize that name. You're going to see him again later in the show. That is the guy who worked on Read Only Memories for IDW that we've reviewed in the past as well. The genre is science fiction, ISBN number 978-1-988-24732-8. And what it's about is an armored alien named Pharos has been captured by Earth military forces. A brilliant agent named Parminder Patel is tasked with learning the truth about Pharos, who claims the Earth is about to be invaded by a race called the Borealis. Can they learn to trust each other before the Borealis arrive? Collects issues number 1 of 5 of season 1 of the series. It's recommended for ages 14 up. I gave it 3.5 stars. Let's take a quick look at some of the. I was going to say look at the art. Can't because I couldn't bring myself to break the binding on the spine. This is the book. Very nice glossy stock cover. Sorry about the reflection. This is what happens on Pharos' world where they're fighting over different things. And they kind of have their manga mecha suits are kind of like grown. So it's like a grow your weaponry type thing. And they're showing what he's talking about, what happened on his planet and how he came into getting his power suit and stuff like that. And this is showing the dictator that he didn't get along with because he was actually just one of the growers of the plants. There's Pharos. They're showing his what he's grown, and he's about to show the leader what new armor tech he's built, grown. And he hands him a different biobomb type thing as well. And he goes, "Oh, that looks very interesting. Here, gets my henchman." And of course, it just flat out destroys him. And he's like, that was very good. Well, well done, This is the agent talking to Pharos. So, kind of goes through the whole book about what happens when the Borealis come and how they fight and how he escapes and trying to basically prevent the Borealis from destroying Earth like they destroyed his home planet. So, that being said, well done, book. Probably going to keep getting this series in trade. There's going to be some. The next series is the Borealis have already arrived. It's too late for them to. So, in a way, so Patel and Pharos team up, and they're going to try and get to the home world of the Borealis and do something that way to stop the invasion, or at least get them to come back and leave Earth alone. So that's going to be what that book is. Our next book is Free Comic Book Day, Only a Matter of Space-Time. Publisher is Random House RH Graphic, which I think is Random House. The writer-artist is Jeffrey Brown. Genre is science fiction kid adventures. I think that this was actually released as a book last year, but it might have been re-released again this year for that, for Free Comic Book Day. The full graphic novel, because this is a preview of the graphic novel, was released on May 29th or June 2nd of 2020. There's different release dates online. What it's about is Jide and Petra are two regular kids in an astronaut training program hoping to be chosen for a top secret mission on Mars. Unfortunately, proving that they're the right kids for the job isn't going according to plan. This book is a sneak peek at their experiences in their training regimen before you get the real story in Once Upon a Space Time, which is the actual name of the graphic novel. And again, that was released on May 29th or June 2nd of this year. Jeffrey Brown, who's the writer and artist, is probably best known for his Darth Vader and Son books, or maybe his Incredible Change Bots book. So if you're familiar with that material, then you know what to expect. But if not, Brown has a lighthearted, all-ages approach that will engage younger readers easily, but keep parents interested as well. Recommended for all ages. I gave it a 4-star rating. And this is some of the interior art from the book. This is from the actual Free Comic Book Day. I'm going to probably order the trade based off of this. Again, it's pretty cool. So there's different people. There's already kids and stuff on the Mars base, and then there's other ones on Earth that are being trained. And there's different robot friends and stuff like that. And this is Kay, the robot. And, in a way, Jeffrey's kind of got a rudimentary. I mean, it's not rudimentary. It just reminds me of my character, Spacey the Alien. I think some of you who know Spacey would probably agree. Hold on a second. In a way it does, in a way it doesn't. But let's go ahead and you see the robot there, and that's Spacey. Remember him? So you can kind of sort of see what I mean with the metallic arms and 3 fingers and stuff like that. And keep in mind this is the revamped armor suit for Spacey. The old stuff looks even more closer to what Jeffrey drew. So that's why it kind of reminded me of that. But it's pretty cool stuff. Let's go to the next book. This is the other Free Comic Book Day that I got. And it's Sue and Tai Chan. The publisher is Kodansha Comics, which is a manga comics publisher. The writer-artist is Konami Kanata. The genre is slice of life, animals, comedy. And what it's about is Sue is a 17-year-old house cat whose owner, Natsuki, is tasked to babysit a new kitten named Tai. It's all about the relationship between these two animals as they converse in cat language, which is translated into human language, in this case, English. And there will be a trade collection of the series, so be sure to look for it. Kanata does another cute kitten comic called Fuku Kitten Tales as well, in 2 parts from Vertical. Diamond code January JN 161811. So that's actually from 2016. But it's really fun stuff that will appeal to all ages. Recommended highly. It's a 5-star rating. And here's some of the book. Very well done. I like the watercolor coloring that they use here. As you can see, he's not really wanting the kitten. And he kind of gets stuck with the kitten, and there's the cat, 17 years old. In people years, that means she's like, look like something like this, and she hears the other kitten cry and wakes her up and, what's that? What's this about? What's going on? And then there's the cat. I'm Tai Chan. Meow. Oh? And what are you doing in my territory? And Tai Chan tilts his head. What are you doing here? I don't know why I'm here. It's just, really well drawn. It's funny. There's other things that go on in this issue where they show Tai Chan getting in the bag like cats will do. And the other cat's like, okay, you can have the bag. And the kitten's just running around the bag, and it gets the handle of the bag wrapped around his neck. And he starts chasing the older cat around the house, dragging the bag around behind his neck. Just little things that cats, you would see normal cats do that are funny to see in real life. And to have the author set that up in a comic book, it's just fun little thing that anybody can enjoy reading. So I recommend that book highly. Our next book of the week is Join the Future, number 5. It is the last issue I'm going to get of this series. It's from $3.99 from Aftershock Comics. The writer is Zach Kaplan. The artist is Peter Kowalski. The colorist is Brad Simpson. The genre is science fiction. It was released yesterday, September 9th. What it's about, if you don't remember, is town people that were kind of like Old West type lived outside the major city. Well, the city has come and basically wiped out that area, and only Clementine, who was the daughter of the sheriff of the town, was left. And she faces off against the city dwellers by herself, and she sets up traps and takes down several of the posse, but ultimately she is outnumbered. The traitor who betrayed her in earlier issues comes back, tries to help her, drives off the enemy, then betrays her yet again, and says, well, since you killed some of those other people, now I have to arrest you and turn you in to them for that. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. If you either help her or don't help her. But anyway, only this time they agreed to have a quick draw contest, and she beats him for some reason, which doesn't make any sense because she's a terrible shot and whatever, But now, of course, the machines that were there to mulch the town have arrived, and she still loses the whole town and everything. And she has to flee on a horse, only to decide to go to the city to presumably try to exact vengeance against the people who destroyed her village and her family and everything once again. Recommended for ages 16 and up. I could have done this story in like 3 issues instead of 5. I don't know. I just, Kowalski's art is good, but the story is just not holding up for me. So I'm done with it after that arc, because the arc is done and it's going into the next arc next time. I'm done. I'm not that interested anymore. But let's take a quick look at the art one last time. And this is where they were in the town hunting her down. And she's got a bunch of glass windows that she dragged out of the wagon on top of them, so they're all cut up and got windows, window glass, pane glass all into their bodies. Then another one says, "Hey, I got her," and it looks like it's her wearing the hat and with a white flag, surrender flag there. And they go up to her and they find out it's a stuffed person with the hat on and the flag, and she's all the way over here. I'm a lousy shot, but I got a figure. I got a pretty good chance of hitting one of those propane tanks. That white flag is for you. Call off the machines and go. This is your last chance. Good luck with your shot, girl. Don't miss. And so she shoots. And I don't think that there's another review page, but I'll check. There isn't. But basically, yeah, she shoots the propane tanks. It blows up, but their armor has some sort of generated force field that, even though it's right within their blast field, they don't get hurt by it. Whatever. That's kind of why I got a 2-star rating instead of anything else, and I'm done with it as of that issue. Our next book, however, is much better, and that is Cody, trade paperback, $14.99. The publisher is Top Shelf Publications and IDW Publishing. The writer-artist is Jared Cullum. The genre is action, adventure, animal. The ISBN number is 978-1-6039-467-2. And what it's about is a young girl named Katya befriends an injured Kodiak bear in Alaska, and they become friends. Unfortunately, she has to return home to her parents in Seattle because her mom's sick. And the bear, Cody, follows his friend from Alaska to Seattle and has some crazy adventures trying to find his friend. Hijinks ensue. Will Cody and Katya find one another, or will their story end in tragedy? Beautifully rendered watercolor artwork, charming, well-designed characters that are consistently drawn throughout. It's a rather quick read. It's 106 pages, and I read it in under 30 minutes. But it's meant to be an all-ages book, so I understand why they didn't make it too complex in terms of story. It's a nice, fun read. You could easily break it down into 2 or 3 readings with your kid as a nighttime. Okay, we read this far, go to bed. Next night, read this far, and then the next night you can conclude it very easily. So really well done book. Let's take a look at the art. I gave it a 5-star out of 5-star rating. Oh, I don't think I did. Let me check here. No, I didn't. Okay. So hold on a second. Let's pull it out here. This is the book. Nice thick. This is where Katya is running home, trying to get out of the rain. She's in the forest. She slips on a log pattern, and this is where she meets Cody, the bear. and the bear's licking up her slushie that she dropped. Very well. You can see the nice shades and tones of the watercolors here. And she's freaking out because it's a bear. And he doesn't like the lightning, thunders. She's trying to scramble to get out of the situation. And she realizes that the bear's got his leg trapped underneath this giant log of wood. And she can't move it herself. And he can't get out from under there, and he's kind of panicking. So she stays with him and tries to comfort him, which kind of weird, but okay, cool. And when things get better, she runs to her grandmother's and tells her, let's go get the bears, help the bear. Mm-hmm. And they get the bear out from under the tree, and that's how they become friends. Now he gets back to Seattle, and he befriends another guy, a young man who's got an injured leg, and he's trying to become a fisherman, more or less, on a boat, because he can swipe up the fish with his claws easier. And he's trying to help the bear find her, while she's in the city going to class. And the class is mocking her because she's telling her stories or drawing her stories about being friends with the bear. And she gets chased into the teacher's lounge. And in the teacher's lounge, on the news, they mention the bear is in town. But she gets chased out of the the teacher's lounge, so she doesn't see the message. And you kind of wonder, is something going to happen to this bear because he's a bear? And, that's not exactly something that, bears wandering around the city of Seattle is not exactly normal. So, is he going to get, captured and brought to, the authorities are going to be taken back to Alaska. What's going to take him to a zoo? What's going to happen? Heaven forbid someone shoot him and kill him. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you how it ends. But really nice book that I can recommend for all ages. Our next book is Space Bear by Ethan Young, and it's $14.99. Publishers Kaboom, with the kid's line from Boom Publishing. ISBN 978-1-68415-559-0. It's got a little bit of a different format to it. That's why it's set up visually there. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's science fiction for kids. And what it's about is Pilgrim Finch, who's the bear flying up there on the cover, is an adventurous space bear who explores the cosmos with a mission to bring samples home back to his home planet. When he crashes on a new planet, he must learn there's only one mission that matters: compassion to all living creatures, no matter the stakes. This is a silent comic. In other words, there's no dialogue in it per se. What dialogue is in the book is kind of, I'll show you here. This is the book, as you can see. While the computer from the ship has, I'm trying to get it to the right angle here. Whoop, there we go. There's some computer language there in language. You can see it's sign language or cartoons in the word balloons, not actual words. So none of the actual characters, other than the computer of the ship, actually speak language. And as he was looking at that giant display of things, some of the aliens raid his ship and steal something in a package that's, maybe it's something he's a courier for or something else, but they're taking it and he's freaking out and he chases after him. Hey, give me back my package. He's like having a temper tantrum, very sad, sits down, cries. I don't know if you can see the tears coming out of his face now. And then there's other people watching from the shadows as his ship's in flames. And it's a dark, shadowy figure. And so he's looking for food. He's starving. And the computer says, searching for food. Keep looking, They find something, it's kind of funny, Oh, yes, I'm hungry, I'm funny. Break in, looks like it could be honey, eats it, kicks it down the side of the mountain out of anger. It rolls down, and he sees these giant fruit at the bottom of the ravine. So from where he kicked the other thing down. So he's like, oh, there is food around here. How much food? Well, look how big the food is compared to him. Can you? There you go. He's walking around with this giant stack of food balanced up there. So that was kind of cool. And of course, he still has these shadow creatures following him everywhere, but he's not really paying that much attention because he's too hungry to care. But anyway, he ends up fighting those shadow monsters to protect those other aliens that stole the object from him. And I'm not going to tell you what that object is and what the significance of it is, but it's very important to him. And but it's overall a really well done book. Certainly worth the $15, $14.99 that it costs. So I highly recommend this one as well. This one or Cody, either one. I think they're both, I gave it a 4-star. I don't know, maybe it is a 5-star, but 4 or 5 either way. It's certainly a reasonable book to get. Let's see what else we got this week. Stargazer, number 1, $3.99, Mad Cave Studios. Anthony Cleveland. I hope I spelled that right. Probably didn't. Let's take a quick look here. Did I? No, I didn't. I don't know why I put the A in there, but I didn't. It's supposed to be Cleveland, like the city. Anyway, artist is Antonio Fuso. Colorist is Stefano Simeone, who I mentioned earlier in the show for coloring the other book. Genre science fiction, released yesterday, September 9th. What it's about. In 1999, a group of kids are out on a camping trip, and they find some LSD in a school bag, and some aliens have come. They were found by the police, and it was assumed that they just tripped out on the drug, only they didn't. The aliens actually did come, and now one of them is still hearing them in their head 20 years later, and the aliens are returning. This is their story. Ages 16 and up, 3 stars out of 5. So it's a reasonable setup book. Here's some of the artwork for it. A couple of teenagers, and they're supposed to be looking at the stars, but they're talking about some video game thing. And then this is little Kenny, who's on a there with the teenage girls, and he's like, "Well, I thought we were going to look at the stars." And so he shows her some things, and that's when they find the pouches of LSD. I don't know. So, and then vroom, that's when the aliens come and get them. It's an interesting book overall. Like I said, pretty decent setup for reviews for the first issue. When it goes into the future, Kenny has some other issues. They think he's mental because he hears the aliens in his head and stuff. And his sister, which was the one that was with him there in the book, real quick. Let me show here again. This one right here is his older sister, and she's trying to help him out as an adult, but it hits to the point where he needs to possibly go into a care facility because they think he's mental. And he leaves his house and he goes to the place where they saw the aliens 20 years earlier. And the police come to her house, and what happened to my brother? Well, you need to come and see, and I'm not going to show you what they do, but it's kind of like one of those fire in the sky moments where the guy's lifted off the ground for being hijacked by aliens, and that's kind of what they implied. So I don't know where they're going with it next, but it's interesting, and we'll see where it goes. Our next book is Stealth number 5 of 6. Image Comics Skybound, $3.99. Writer is Mike Costa. Artist is Nate Bellegarde with colors by Tamara Bonvillain. Genre is superhero, released yesterday, September 9th, 2020. And what it's about, Stealth is stalking the Dead Hand, which is the guy on the top of the police car on the cover there, all over Detroit, but the Dead Hand surrenders to a police officer and basically gets away. Meanwhile, Tony, Stealth's son, is still trying to figure out what's going on and confronts an attorney from the past. Of course, miraculously, the Dead Hand finds his way into the same attorney's office, and now Tony is his hostage while all the street gangs in Detroit are gunning for Stealth. Okay, one more issue left. Gee, I wonder what the plot is. Yeah, recommended for ages 15 up, 3 out of 5 stars. let's look at the art real quick. This is Stealth going after the Dead Hand and one of his lieutenants. And the reason he's going after him is because in his if you have forgotten, Stealth is an older gentleman who is wearing a battle armor, alien battle armor, and he's got Alzheimer's, so his mind is like going back decades in time, and he's not really with it. And he's after the Dead Hand for a killing that he did like 20 years ago to a little girl. And, okay, whatever. He's like, you're crazy, you're insane. That was a long time ago. What's this about? Type thing, when he freaks out and gets away. But anyway, he gets to the attorney's office, like I said, shoots the security guard. And, of course, the attorney now explains that he's Stealth's son. And he's like, okay, well, cool. I got this interesting thing going here, Now, all the different gangs are fighting each other and are all gunning for Stealth at the same time. So, it's an okay book. It's got one more issue left. I'm just going to go ahead and get the last issue. And whatever happens, I'm done with that series. If they try to go with extended on beyond that, I'm not going to be that interested in it. And that takes us back to the throwback episode. So that's our reviews for this week. Well, thank you for watching the show. And, I'm sorry that what I originally had planned platform didn't turn out. Frankly, I don't really want to go on a rant about it. It's happened quite a few times before over the past year. I don't know why. Creators agree to do a show, and then something always comes up. Personally, I just think it's that I'm not popular enough or something. I don't know, but it is what it is. So okay, let's if you want to reach me, you can reach me on Facebook at Lewis.BrightRaven, at DeviantArt at DeviantArt.com/BrightRaven, Quoth the Raven, Lewis BrightRaven here on YouTube, Quoth the Raven LBR72 at gmail.com on Gmail, or Lewis BrightRaven at yahoo.com. The podcast airs regularly Thursdays on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, I'll try to get back with you on that Mayhem book and some of the other stuff from the podcast, from the crowdfunding that I didn't have enough information on. We'll revisit that. We'll hopefully get caught up on all of our reviews from this week and last week that I didn't get to read this week because I was doing other things. I don't know what else we'll talk about. I'm going to try and get some other stuff going next week of my own to show you guys as well. So until then, have a safe weekend, and I'll see you next time.